Hi there, this is Leah Burdick again for Mack & Associates, and in this video I want to talk about how to use the company search to prospect for target customers as well as potential job candidates, and then we'll briefly cover LinkedIn answers. So let's start by using the company search. Let's say that you want to target law firms. You're looking for HR professionals there you might connect with so that you can approach them about Mack's services. And let's say you're looking for Baker & McKenzie. So I'm going to click on Baker & McKenzie, obviously a very big law firm. And it pulls me up to their page. Now here, obviously their website would have a lot of information on them, but sometimes you can find out more information about them on their LinkedIn page, what their specialties are, but who is in your network. And again, the importance of building your own network to be able to use LinkedIn, get more power out of it is tremendous. But you may have someone who now works for Baker & McKenzie that was on your college team, or lived in your the same sorority house, or that belongs to the same industry group that you used to belong to, and you served on a board together. You can't always track the movement of everyone you know, so that's why it's good, one, to look here, because if you know somebody who might be in a position to make that personal introduction to the HR department at Baker & McKenzie, that's a huge step ahead of trying to go in cold. And likewise, as we reviewed in the last video, say, if I had a direct contact, which I don't at Baker & McKenzie, because I don't deal very much with law firms, but they would show up here and I could remind myself how I know them, tell them what I'm trying to do, and see if they could help me. But likewise, you can, if he's like Michael Smith, if he were in HR, click on him. I can see, who do I know him through, get introduced through a connection. Here, put a note to Dolores, ask her to connect me to Michael. Try to add him directly to my network. Again, clicking adding him to my network, and it will take me to a box I can fill out and say, again, don't just use the form letter that comes here. Try to make it a little bit more personal and invite him to connect, and then you could network from there. You can see who he's recommended. They could lead you to other people. Who else people are looking at. Interesting, Barack Obama, where he went to law school. Just more prospect data mining, coming at it from a company search. And at the same time, if you were looking for a legal secretary, I'll go back. New hires, obviously, they were probably just hired. They're probably not ready to move on. Even former employees, maybe you know somebody who used to work there and can connect you to someone in their HR department. Or, here's a marketing business development professional. I know Mack gets marketing coordinator roles, but there are ways to find people who, again, you might know somebody and they could be a candidate for a job opening. So, and obviously they have really good law firm experience if they've worked for a company like Baker & McKenzie. So it's just another way for you to understand who you already know somewhere and how you might connect with them, whether it's prospecting or filling an open position. And then the last thing I want to tell you about are LinkedIn answers. So I'm going to go to the More tab here and click on Answers. Now, answers are, what it implies. They have questions and they're reaching out to the collective brain power on LinkedIn to find out, to get answers on just about anything random you can think of, but usually professionally related. Now, I have a client of mine who trains Fortune 500 professionals on just management skills, and she targets a lot of aerospace industry. And she was actually able to network with someone here. They asked a question. This person really liked her response, and it just so happened he was running a conference for the aerospace industry, and he invited her to speak in front of a room of 500 of her perfect target customers. So that's really what the power of Answers is. It's a place for you to demonstrate your expertise, how much you know about your industry, to someone who could be a target customer or who could be, running an industry conference where they get you in front of a room of a couple hundred people who may be able to hire you as a recruiter. So this is kind of Answers is something you do over time and you have to cultivate, similar to going out and networking. But let's take a look at how you could look at Answers. If you go to Advanced Answers search, let's look at Chicago recruiting talent. See what that pulls up. I'm just going to leave it at all. Now there are 94 things that come up. Not all of these are open. Some of them are answered. So here it says all. Often when somebody submits a question, it's open for a week, and then the system closes it, and the person who asked the question goes in and rates the answers. But if you want things that you can respond to, you can hit open questions. Oh, and there aren't any right now with that particular query. But you can also see who's asking these questions. What's the best way to tell them they're not a cultural fit? And you can see how people answered. Or you can ask your own question and see who responds to you. But it is a way to start a dialogue with somebody. It is really akin to going to a networking event and having somebody ask you something, and it's your way to shine and show them, I'm smart and you'll like working with me. That's how I like to think of it. So, like I said, Answers is kind of a slower. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, but it is something else that is available to you in LinkedIn. Thank you.